How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Blue Shifting. Welcome back to chaosheadnoah. Okay, so we are here and we started the Kozupii route just last time. We kind of just we ended the Yua route, which frankly the ending was really short compared to what we had with even the Senna end. So that was really surprising to me, but it was a fulfilling story, so I was happy with it. Now we're doing the Kozupii route because of all the girls. Like, I think Senna is my favorite design and personality and everything. Like, Senna's probably my favorite. I think the Yua route was the most interesting for the lore. Kozupii is the most interesting as a character. I think she's just a fascinating individual. The way she's written, the way she, like, experiences things, and, like, her very, like, cutesy way of thinking. But at the same time, she's quite willing to be very aggressive and violent. And I want to know more about who she is as a character. It's very, very fascinating to see. So, yeah, we're going to go down this route. Very excited to see how this plans out. And it looks like we're starting things off. Basically, we got to the point in the story, like, besides doing, like, the slightly divergent things, we're at the point where we got beat up by the guys who then become the victims of the last NewGen killing. And we were at that stage right now. Like, that's the last thing we saw was Taku being taken out by them. And then the next scene usually is where we end up conversing with Kozupii, where she reveals that she can talk to our minds, and she talks about how she beats these guys up. I think we're about to see that scene because this is something brand new. But other than that, like, we're just going to push forward and we're going to see how this kind of goes. These endings tend to be pretty short, so I wouldn't be surprised if we were done with this in the next couple of weeks, and then we should be able to head straight for the true ending after that, so that should be very fascinating. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and let's jump right in, shall we? There was a little indication that there were any people present in the back alley of the center guy. The breathing of a girl, Orihara Kozue, Orihara Kozue, could faintly be heard resounding through it. Oh my gosh. Oh, is this actually the flashback to her, like, where she, like, lopped off arms of people? She cradled the gargantuan sword, or perhaps it was not a sword. Its unique shape brought its identity into question. It was more akin to a snowboard. The sharpness of the blade could not compare to one, however. Its surface was stiff and exuded a brutish aura. Wielded against another person, it could slice them through with ease, all while grinding every bone in their body to dust. The very violent weapon. Maroon blood trickled down the blade, clinging to its edges. No, it is the beating up scene. A young man in front of Kozue attempted to crawl away. Despite the puddles of filthy water, he tried desperately to get even a little bit further away from her. Kozue's face held a brilliant grin as she stared at the man. There's no trace of her usual cowering, timid personality. She was enjoying herself. Her cheeks were flushed, perhaps from excitement. The sword in her hand had been used on two others before this man. It had been a remorseless bloodbath. Kozupii's not gonna kill you, but baddies need to be punished. The faces of the vulgar young men were bloodied and swollen until only moments ago they had been tormenting Kozue's classmate, Nishijo Takumi. She had heard the voices of their hearts by chance. Multiple boorish voices had wrenched their way into her head as she was passing by. Piece of crap, don't look down on me, you Esper freak. Die, I'll beat you to death with you little crap. Pathetic cheese. I'll whip your butt so deep, Esper, such a deep, Esper, shut your gosh darn mouth. Fetch, I'm so pissed off I'm gonna end you. That stupid bee gave me the cold shoulder. This is revenge, fetching, shut the heck up. Rot in hell, fetch and die already, you fake, fetch and Esper. The hell do you think it takes to kill you? Fetch, just die. This crap's just what I was told to do. Get the crap, do this crap, get the money. I'll make a crap ton of money. I'll fetch him up, get the money I want, the money to beat him up, beat him to utter crap. I'll fetch and kill you, kid. I'm gonna slaughter you. I'll tear you to pieces. God, this stream of consciousness sucks. What a man! I would not want to live in this guy's head. I don't want to have thoughts like this. Also, by the way, I noticed that like the graffiti "God's judgment" is here. That's got to be Senna's dad doing that. Ha ha ha. Ah, feels good beating people to a pulp. There's nothing fetching better. I swear it's like I'm fetching high or something. For real, this is fetching fantastic. I don't give a crap about the world. There's nobody who could fetch and stop me. The police won't do crap. My old boss won't do crap. My fetching mom won't do crap. Neither nobody but me is on the fetching top. Ain't nobody better than me. I'm at the top of the fetching world. B, stay down. Stay still so I can kick the crap out of you. Holy crap, I'm awesome. Ugh, I want to kill them. From the cluster of voices formed by perverse hearts, a single voice of rage and hatred rose above. Recognizing the heart's outcry as Takumi's, Kozue had come running to where he was. And she had then attacked the bad men. One more person and justice would be dealt. The threat to Nishijo Takumi herself would be eliminated. For that reason, Kozue refused to let the young man crawl away. There'd be no escape. I take it back. I'm sorry. I'll die. I'll die. You fetch and kill me. I'll die. I'll die. I'll die. I don't want to die. It's not fair. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. I'm going to fetch and die. My guts spilled everywhere. I don't want to fetch and die. I want to keep living. I want to be good life. I want to do all the stuff I wanted to do. Good grief. Ugh. The young man's heart frantically pleaded for mercy. Kozue's wide smile did not fade. She's crazy. Oh my gosh. She is crazy. She gripped him by the back of the head, grabbed a fistful of hair, forced him upright. She accomplished this despite the immense disparity in their physical appearances. Lacking the willpower to resist, tears welled up in his eyes. He begged for mercy from the innocent little girl. Kozue's answer was a swift denial, but it was not the one she voiced aloud. She simply mouthed the word one letter at a time with her mouth. No. Oh my gosh, she's freaking terrifying. Look at that. Holy cow. Ooh. Oh no. Lifting it above her head, the gargantuan sword roared as it approached the man. With one blow, his jaw was pulverized. His shrieks reverberated throughout the alley. The man was blown away and then collapsed in a heap. Blood would have splattered all over Kozue's clothes, but she used her blade to shield herself, allowing her to avoid such an event entirely. With a nod of satisfaction, Kozue erased her sword. She glimpsed at, I think it's supposed to be glanced at Nishijo Takumi, who was collapsed in the corner of the alleyway. That's... Okay. You know what? I wanted to know more about her. I'm learning more about her. She's freaking insane. Look at those eyes. The art style is crazy. Like, that is one of the most, like, well-drawn, like looks of, like, sinister looks I've ever seen. Breathing loudly, her heart murmured. Kozupii wanted to kill them for you, but Kozupi's gonna stop here. And then she just goes to the cutesy friend right after this. My shoulder was shaken softly. It was extremely gentle, and after just one shake, it stopped. Yeah, I think this is the normal route, so I'm gonna hit the skip button. Yeah, it just goes right into like the normal stuff. This is post that. 5 minutes. Oh, wait. So apparently I haven't seen this scene. We just kind of came up to the whole popsicle thing. I guess because it's Sen, I've always done like the positive one here, but I just did the neutral one this time. So Nishijo saw that she got a losing ticket, like stick from her popsicle. And so he's offering to give his to her. Cause I think he won. Yeah, he has the winning ticket. So he's like, here, you can have it. And she's like, I refuse. She shot me down less than a second. Fine, I see how it is. Here's the type of bee who like to spit on other people's kindness, or could it be just a general prickliness of a tsundere? Acting like that IRL wasn't moe at all. The Shibuyan magic words.
いらないと言っているだろ。いいから早く楽しい時に言う言葉。っていうか超楽しくてマジやばい。超ベリーグー。
Very good. What kind of DQN Garo language was this? She even mixed in some words that had fallen out of usage several years ago. So they'd been studying that, and it had hurt to listen to, but in a way it was actually kind of charming.
渋谷に馴染むためなのら
Yeah, I'm sure.
ささ、セナちゃん
She said it's gonna be like, I don't want to do this.
無理。今は無理だ。
無理じゃない
Come on.
無理だ。
Kozupii got teary-eyed once again as she stared unrelentingly at Senna. If she did that, Senna would have to. She's like, fine.
っていうか、超楽しくて、マジやばい。
Oh, that's the magic phrase. I'm having so much fun. It's insane. Like, wow.
ちょべりぐ。
相変わらずセナちゃんは片言ですね
It's because she's embarrassed. Senna, now red in the face, turned away. I had borne witness to something truly precious, something worlds away from the girl who'd gone down and on about unintelligible theories like they were nothing. Daremo truly was the best. Man, I am sad I missed this sequence. GJ, Kozupii, G, Fetchin' J. Thanks to you, I'd managed to catch a single ephemeral glimpse of the true potential 3D still had to offer. Anyway, with all that said and done, I handed over the winning stick to Senna. She accepted it with surprisingly little pushback.
礼は言わないからな。
Upon saying that, she made a show of picking up and shouldering her D sword as she scowled at me, leading me to quickly look downward. I wasn't sure why she had intimidated me like that, even though I'd just given her something. I really had no idea how to deal with her like this. Wish she'd just stayed in daring mode all the time. We're back to normal. Here we go again. Now I think this is like the end of the chapter or the beginning of the next chapter. And now it looks like she's still being pursued. Before Shinsen Station, Orihara Kozue stood petrified. Over the past several days, she'd been going back home from here rather than Shibuya Station, all because of the white car that had been following her. And today, the white car appeared once more. As if waiting for someone, it was parked in front of the station. Stricken by this, Kozue froze dead in her tracks. The passenger side window slowly began to roll down before stopping nearly halfway. Suddenly, the hand of the passenger emerged from the opening. Within their palm, a handheld mirror was clutched tightly. Through her eyes, it felt almost as if they were taunting her, goading her. The raw terror alone made her feel as if she might stop breathing at any moment. Refusing to wait even a moment longer, Kozue whipped around and took off running. Focused entirely on her attempt to get away, she had no capacity to maintain proper footing, falling and scraping her knees many times as she sprinted. Upon reaching Miyashita Park, she took refuge on a bench and continued trembling well into the night. However, she could not afford to embrace her knees forever. Despite her fears, Kozue decided it was finally time to make her way back to Shibuya Station. But when she reached it, it was parked there too. The exact same car from before. Though she had no destination in mind, she bolted once again, tears pouring down her cheeks with no end. Doubt was all that filled her mind. Who could possibly be in that white car? What could they possibly hope to gain by harassing her? When she came to her senses, she realized that she'd found her way back to Shinsen Station. Given that the car had been at this station earlier, the last thing she wanted to do was return to it. Taking her chances, she entered an unfamiliar narrow alley. Due to the lack of streetlights, the area was incredibly dim, something that only served to magnify the already intense dread in Kozue's heart. But at this point, Kozue was so drained, she did not have the energy to continue running. Wiping away her tears, she kept her desperate struggle, stumbling every other step of the way. And right where she thought she was about to hit the main road, the white car passed right in front of her. Kozue was shocked by its sudden appearance and then traveled approximately 50 meters away from Kozue before stopping on the shoulder of the road, its hazard lights flickering to life. How do they know where she is? That's the thing that's crazy. Like, I understand maybe like following her, learning her patterns, getting to know places where she would be, but they seem to be able to just home in on her constantly, like they have a tracker on her somehow. She lost all willpower to run. No matter where she ran, they would always find her, and as if reading her mind, the car would anticipate where she would be. Sinking to the ground, she cradled her head in her arms. Within her heart, she cried out for salvation, but in the end, no soul came to her rescue. Even as Kozue began to stagger away in a fit of tears, the vehicle remained parked, and to the very end, whomever was inside made no attempt to show themselves. I don't know what to make of that. It's really odd that they would be specifically tormenting her. Don't get that, but sure. Yo. Hey, Nerd Heart. Been waiting for you. There's been another NewGen. What are you even on about? Insert ASIC 2 art here. NewGen dude, what the fetch do you think I'm on about? How exactly do we go from NewGen to NewGen? New generation, NewGen, NewGen, NewGen. 7th case. Yeah. Happened again, there's another NewGen. How long was this darn thing gonna go on for? Was I next? Would I be the victim of the 8th case, the 9th? It's odd because this is definitely, we've seen this before, but it must be like some small change in it because it's not letting me skip it. Anxiety aside, Grim was pretty much the NewGen news guy at this point. He'd been keeping me in the loop since about basically everything. Even now, he was going out of his way to link a bunch of blog posts and news articles about it. Seemed he really wanted me to take a look. Biting my lip, I reluctantly checked the first link. The DQN puzzle. Same thing as before, nothing new here.
今日午前4時50分頃、東京都渋谷区の線路
Even
沿
this
い
is
で
the same,
男
but
性
it's still
3 人
not
の
letting me
他殺
skip
死
it.
体が鉄柱に吊り下げられているのを通りかかった新聞販売員の男性が発見しました。警察の調べによりますと、殺されたのはいずれも渋谷区に住む無職藤田康平さん、大学生の安沢三郎さん、とび職の高木亮さんの3人です。3人とも胴体の部分が切断され、それぞれの上半身と下半身が別々に入れ替えられて糸で縫合されていました。
It's so gross.
3人の額にはそれぞれ謎の傷がつけられており、警察では犯人からのメッセージではないかと見て調べています。渋谷では2ヶ月ほど前から猟奇殺人事件が頻発しており、警察では今回の事件も同一犯による犯行の可能性が高いと見て捜査を続けています。
Yep. At the end of the news clip, photographs of the 3 victims were shown. I had seen those faces before.
あいつらだ。昨日僕に絡んできた。
I'd given them my wallet, but they'd kicked my butt anyway. I'd then fallen unconscious, and when I woke up, Kozupii was beside me. The 3 of them had been collapsed on the ground, covered in blood. I dug my wallet out of my pocket and stared at it intently. When I came to, Kozupii had been carrying it, and she'd given it back to me soon after. Could the person who killed those 3 be... No, definitely not. The last time I'd seen them, they'd been beaten to a pulp and covered in blood, but they hadn't been cut in half or anything. Which would mean they'd been killed after Kozupii and I had left. It had to have been Shogun. The wrinkly a-hole was trying to provoke me. Dang it, he really was committed to driving me insane. Just how far was he willing to go? I wanted to vomit. I clutched my stomach and it churned in pain. Was I next? Would I be next to die? It was also possible Shogun could show up in person again. He seemed to be playing with me like it was some kind of game. After all, maybe he felt like sending me on another quest soon. Just the thought alone terrified me. I tried to grasp my D-sword, but even that was to protect myself from him. Without that sword, how could I ever hope to escape his evil clutches? It felt like he was holding a knife straight to my throat, like he was saying, I can kill you whenever I please. Please, just let me go. What had I done to deserve this? I couldn't take it anymore. Someone save me, please. Rimi, where'd you go? What were you supposed to protect me? No, I couldn't rely on Rimi anymore. I hadn't even gone to school today just to see her, but she hadn't been there, almost like she never was there to begin with. So I had to find someone else who I could rely on to protect me. And the first person that came to mind was
最近渋谷はますます物騒だよ。
It is kind of funny that he would like make the connection to she like would protect him because she has literally protected him. She beat up those guys. Like of all the people he thought that he could turn to protect him, she's the only one that's like physically protected him. I'd say Rimi has, but he didn't see that. You know.
昨日も怖そうなゴキゴキ男たちに拉致されそうになっちゃったから、
Cockroaches.
ドカドカドカーンってしてやったのら。
Kozupii. She was far removed from normal as could be, and also a pretty big idiot, but because of that, something told me that if I had to depend on her, she might actually hear me out. She's also so much like you, like the most like you out of everybody. Upon entering the classroom, I looked toward Rimi's seat. There's no one there. Next, I looked over to Kozupi's desk. She was in her seat, face down, huddled up.
おはよう、たくみさん。
Morning, Kozupii. I didn't make eye contact, but I greeted her with my inner voice. The female DQNs were watching me, smirking. Sees. It was no different than yesterday. They'd already labeled me as that otaku freak who said he was psychic and made a butt of himself on TV. That label wasn't going away anytime soon. The male DQNs didn't seem to have arrived yet. It was pretty common for them to skip first period. That was fine by me. Misumi-kun merely tossed a glance in my direction, not caring enough to greet me. All ties between us were pretty much gone at this point. And again, it was pretty strange that he and I had ever been friends at all. Taking a seat, I pretended to fall asleep. Then I called out with my mind. Kozupii, can you hear me?
なんでしょう。
It's so crazy. I need your help. If I don't get help fast, someone's gonna kill me.
殺されちゃうの？
Yeah, that's why I want you to protect me. You can use your D-sword.
それより、それより。
Okay, but first what?
たくみさん、コズピーのことバカそうって思ってるでしょ。でしょ。
Exposed.
おい、やっぱり、たくみさんひどいの。
I'm sorry.
それに、コズピーはね、誰でもドカバキってするわけじゃないよ。
I hope not.
コズピーは、コズピーに悪いことしようとする人だけ、ドカックシャペキーってしてあげるの。
It's the juxtaposition of the way she says these things. It's horrifying and kind of adorable and kind of horrifying. I don't know. Okay, does everyone around me think I'm stupid? What is this? I'm just a poor innocent otaku who hasn't done anything wrong. All I want is to just shut myself inside my base, spend the rest of my life in there. I swear to God, it's like everything around me is screwing with me. God, what the heck? What did I do to deserve this? I've done nothing wrong. I'm a good person. DQNs, they're the bad ones, and Shogun too. Please, Kozupii, I need your help. Protect me from them. You even said it yourself the other day. Those cockroaches said that say all those horrible things to me. They're even more worthless than I am.
言ったかもかも。
She's like, probably bobbly. Good grief.
でもね、コズピーはその将軍さんって人知らないよ。
I know him all too well. He's this kid who looks like an old man. He rides around in a wheelchair, and one day he's gonna show up out of the blue and kill me right then and there. He's the one who stole Nanami away.
そっか、たくみさん大変なのね。
Wowie Sally. like, there's a guy who's gonna kill me and he kidnapped my sister. Wow, that's crazy. What? Is that really all you have to say?
殺したいけど、殺しちゃダメってセナさんに言われてるなら。
Kozupii wants to kill people, but she was told it's not a good idea. She's, oh my gosh. Shoot, even Kozupii was on better terms with Senna than I was. With my head still down on my desk, I gritted my teeth, clenched my fists. What do I do? There's no one I can turn to except Kozupii. She kind of scares me, and even if she didn't, I doubt she'd have any interest in helping the likes of me. The only one I can rely on was Kozupii. Interesting. Very interesting. The school bell rang, bringing the day to a close, and me straight out of the classroom. Just like always, the class's token DQNs are making fun of me the whole Esper debacle. Just today alone, they'd already come after me at least 5 separate times. Seriously, didn't they have anything better to do? Could bullies like them only get their kicks from picking on others? That's wrong with normies. The people thought they were actually human. Don't like to laugh. Shutting myself in my base to play ESO, immersing myself in dazzling delusions with Sierra-tan, that's what made me happy. Very happy. God, I'm so pissed off. So pissed off, in fact, I could be doing nothing but cursing those DQN fetches inside my head the entire way home.
Takumi-san?
Yay! Here she is. I felt Kozupii poke my shoulder from behind a few times.
一緒に帰りましょう.
If anything, you might want it too. Like she's got the weird car chasing her. Do you really have any interest in protecting me?
でもね、匠さんにプレゼントがあるのです。
Oh, what is it, a gun? A present for me? Look at me, I think I just raised a flag.
フラグって何？
He's got like one of the best things about this is how hilarious it is that his like normal like train of thought is now being like heard. Like he's talking out loud and he doesn't catch himself. He's gonna say really creepy stuff, I'm sure. He was funny because like they're both creepy in their own way, especially because like their thoughts are so unbridled. Her creepiness comes down to like how she has an attraction to violence and really wants to make bad guys pay like by dying, whereas he is creepy as in he's kind of like a creep, like perverted. Oh, it's nothing.
というわけでね、この間の憩いの場所にレッツゴーなのら。
Okay, what'd you have in mind? Somewhere nice and relaxing? Oh gosh. Back to the mall, huh? I knew it. I know people around, so the description is pretty spot on. Then again, this is just a staircase. It only makes sense. So why is it that I can't seem to calm down? Maybe it's because that employee downstairs feels like he's been keeping a close eye on me. Or maybe it's because Kozupii and I are speaking telepathically. We aren't making any noise. So far, from an outsider's point of view, we probably just look like a bunch of freaks making faces at each other in total silence. But that's kind of cool at the same time.
コズピ、キモいかな。
No, see, no. I mean, when you just stare at people while they're staying completely silent, what do you expect?
でも、内緒話を聞かれることはないよ。
That's true. That's what's so cool about it. What? These are supposed to be secret.
しないつもりなの。
Oh, okay. The sheer amount of energy you have really does tire me out. Some things never change, though.
ごめんなさいなのら。コズピ、疲れるかな。なるべくね、疲れないようにするの。
You're so earnest for someone who's so psychotic. Whatever, can we just go back to what you were saying? Didn't you say something about a present?
そうそう。ね、コズピは、いっつもお友達になった人に、人にプレゼントしてるのです。
Aw, gives them a present as a present. Is it literally just like a box that looks nice? There's nothing in it. It's just like a nice present box. As she spoke, Kozupii started rummaging around in her bag.
セナさんにもあげたんだよ。
It's a candy. Aw, that's actually really sweet.
たくみさんはキャンディーさんなめなめするかな。
First of all, this is adorable. The juxtaposition of like psycho Kozupii and very adorable cute Kozupii is really great. Second of all, why did she kill it, giving it a licky lick? Ugh. She offered me a piece of candy. Just what the hell does she actually keep in her bag? But now though, I just took the candy, unwrapped it, and popped it in my mouth. It was lemon flavor. Tangy flavor spread throughout my mouth. Pretty refreshing, honestly. Was that present Kozupii? Was that the present Kozupii?
違うよ。それはね、コズピーがいっつもなめなめしてるキャンディーさんなのら。
Not this one, right? Like you have candy all the time of this cat. Like you have a bag of it, right? You didn't actually unwrap, suck on, and then put it back in a wrapper and hand it to us, right? I can't believe I have to ask because no other character would I actually think that that's what happened. But with Kozupii, I don't know. And you just expect me to know that?
プレゼントはこれなの
See, this is why I like her. She's hilarious. Unintentionally hilarious. Oh no. She happily pulled out a number of fanciful accessories from her bag, each one made up of a bunch of colorful beads. The heck are these?
ブチュブチュさんです
Clickity-Clackities.
ブレスとか携帯のストラップとか指輪もあるしヘアピンもチャームもあるよ
Okay, dude. Don't drop this. Just accept the one that's the least offensive. Say thank you. And just move on. Did you make all of these? By hand?
違うよ
Oh, okay.
コズピーが手芸をやろうとするとぐちゃぐちゃドカーンってなっちゃうのら
Right.
これはねママが作ってくれるんだよコズピーがビーズ大好きだから全部ブチュブチュさんなのら
Okay, so you gave it the name Clickity-Clackities because you liked it. And your mom helped you. She sounds nice. Kozupii suddenly grabbed my hand. The sheer warmth and softness of it made my heart skip a beat.
タクミさんドキッでしたね
Oh gosh. Yeah, no such thing as privacy. Only because it was surprise attack.
タクミさんがドキッてするとコズピーもドキンドキンってしちゃうの
Oh gosh. Oh boy. Oh no. What do you do with that information? With a smile still on her face, Kozupii handed me some things made out of beads. It was probably a cell phone strap if I had to guess.
これあげますね
Aw, I don't want it. Why would you say that?
コズピー迷惑だっただった
No, just take it, dude.
お友達にはみんなにねブチュブチュさんあげてるんだよ
With a turn like that, would anyone with a turn that would give anyone whiplash, Kozupii burst into tears. Oh, why does she have to be so quick to cry all the time? I mean, isn't this something a girl would wear? I feel weird putting it on.
はあそうだったのらじゃタクミさんはプレゼントされても
No.
困っちゃうね
Taku, come on. You just say like, okay, look, I'll take it. I just probably won't wear it because it really wouldn't do well. But I appreciate the gift or something like that.
これあげる人2人目だったのにぐっそんなのら
Holy crap. Big sniffle. Just laying it on real thick. All the guilt just right there. Just take it, dude. Depressed as could be, Kozupii made me take back the made to take back the cell phone strap, but I quickly pulled my hand back and jammed it into my jacket pocket.
タクミさん
I changed my mind. I'll take it.
なんで
She said that she said that she gives a present to all her friends, yet I'm only the second person to get one. In other words, Kozupii must not have any friends, so the first one she gave to was Senna, no doubt about it. I kind of feel, I don't know, empathy? Because that's you?
登場したのですね
Shoot, forgot Kozupii could read all of my thoughts. Honestly, as much as I feel sorry for you, I think we're actually the same in some ways.
あのねコズピーも同じことを思ったよ
I mean, that's fair. That's the nice thing too. Like, you gotta admit, being able to read each other's thoughts definitely makes it hard to do the white lies or to try and like always have good pretenses up. But I feel like once you got used to that, you just kind of would get used to how blunt you would end up being with each other. And then in a way that's actually really healthy. I don't know if these two are healthy because both of them are pretty crazy, but at the same time, like, if you stop taking offense at the stray thoughts that somebody has that are just brutally honest, it probably leads to better communication in the long run.
コズピーが初めて学校行った時タクミさんを見て でね、すごく辛そうだなって思ったのら。
Aw.
コズピーも辛かったから一緒だってほっとしたの。
The same, huh? It reminds me of when Senna told me about Kozupi's life before she transferred. She and I really are alike. We're both closed off to the world, we're both at the mercy of the malicious entities surrounding us. We both avoid crowds, we both avoid human contact, we're both afraid of people. We both like hiding away by some dimly lit staircase, making ourselves unnoticeable.
ただ普通にね、生きたいだけなのにね。
Yeah. As she played with the Clickity-Clackity in her hand, Kozupii had a faraway look in her eyes.
お友達作って一緒に遊んだりして、一緒にお弁当食べたり、一緒にお勉強したり、文化祭とかの行事を一緒に頑張ったり、一緒に恋のお話をしたり。
She wants to have like very normal like youth, but that's the thing. Like think about this, they're like in high school now, right? They're on the cusp of becoming adults, and she's gone this entire time feeling like she's never had friends, that she's never been able to connect, she's never been to have these moments that like, you know, sure you see it promised in like media, anime, manga, and all that stuff, but at the same time, it's also grounded in some reality. I granted, everything you see in the anime stuff is always way hyped up and way overdone, and mostly comes from a point of nostalgia, because at the time it probably felt pretty lame, but in hindsight you're like, wow, that was actually pretty fun. But she wants to have even a semblance of that, and she doesn't have that. She's probably going to be graduating school fairly soon, and when she does, that chapter, that point of life is done. You don't get to go do school festivals again. The closest you could ever get is if you became a teacher, and then you just become a supervisor of the festivals and participant in that sense where you're, you know, helping with it. So yeah, like, that's the thing that kind of sucks. It sucks that people have to grow up so fast, or people end up becoming isolated when they're in school and feeling like they don't get to have or enjoy like those experiences that a lot of us end up treasuring. And I'm kind of granted, like, I wasn't the most typical, didn't do a lot of sports or anything, but I got involved in groups, went on dates. You know, I got to have a very, honestly, fantastic high school experience, built a lot of good memories, and set a foundation for who I was. I definitely was an idiot, and it's one of the, I like everyone else, I wish I could like go back and like, I don't know, give myself some good advice, but long story short, I had a great experience, and despite being a geek and all my, you know, oddities, I definitely got to have those moments, and it's really cool that I got to. So it sucks to imagine how real the reality that some people go through all their school and never really get to have those experiences, because you don't get to go back and do that part of your life over again. And you don't really have any like concept at all about that and how that works and what that means, how precious that time is, until you're well past it.
そんなね、普通の生活で十分だったのら。
Aww.
特別なことなんて何にも望んでなかったよ。
Kozupii never wished for anything special. It's like, should say never ever, but I don't know. Okay, with Kozupii, I don't know if that's just like a typo, or if that's literally how she said it. Like, is she, in the Japanese, is she speaking in like is her grammar not quite right? Like, is she flipping words around where they shouldn't be? I don't know. I wish I did. Suddenly, the expression on Kozupi's face disappeared, and then she tore apart the clickety-clackety she'd been playing with. The beads went everywhere, rolling and tumbling down the stairs. I've been thinking the same thing. Why am I the only one that has to suffer like this? I always ask myself, what did I do to deserve this?
コズピーはね、悪いことしたよ。
Oh boy. Kozupii stuck out her tongue, and her smile came back. A bad thing? You mean the thing where you cut off your classmates' arms, or...?
殺したいって願ったもん。
It's when I wish to kill.
コズピーに意地悪する人たち全員ぶち殺したいって願っちゃったもん。
You know, it's kind of funny because Takumi has also made this wish, but she's like, so I really, really wanted to. Like, she was like making the plan kind of thing. Like, on her 13th reason type of thing. You really are pretty twisted.
でも、悪いことを願うのは悪いことじゃないよ。
That's true. that's really true, honestly. I think that's one thing that people mess up, especially with stuff like there's a lot of like information control and laws and stuff that are being passed right now or being considered right now. And that's the thing that's really odd is like, on one hand, you want to stop crimes or you want to stop people from acting on the bad thoughts that they have. You want to catch that before they hurt people. And I'm all for that. But they're taking it to the point where they're making it so that like you can't even interact with like anything that's perceived as being like associated with that. And that gets really dangerous because it's like having thoughts is not a crime. And even if you have bad thoughts, it doesn't make you a bad person because all of us have bad thoughts. I don't care what anyone says. We all do. It's the question of whether or not you think you should act on those thoughts, whether you recognize that the harm that you could cause and that that's not okay. 99% of us can distinguish right from wrong in a very fundamental level. And, you know, that's why like most crimes I would say are white collar crimes because like, you feel like even when you're hurting people, it's not really hurting them because you're not actually physically hurting them. But most of us don't actually want or couldn't even, I don't think most of us could even bring ourselves to willingly hurt another person unless we felt we had no other choice.
あれね、悪いことを願うのが悪い。悪いから悪いことを願うのかな。悪い。悪ですね。
Jeez. Really struggles with this.
とにかく、負の感情は否定されるものじゃないってへんてこなボード持ったおじさんが言ってたのら。
Not to be repudiated. Like, I think she's saying that word wrong, but like that's Senna's dad. And that's the thing he's saying, like negative emotions are not something to be real booted. That's what it's supposed to be, real booted. Because, yeah, I think that's the problem is like the real damage would come from real booting negative things. In fact, Taku's been really lucky because the times he's real booted till now, it's been out of sense of like saving people or helping people, like the flower bed to save Ayase from falling off the roof when she fell off the roof or jumped off the roof. But if you real booted bad stuff, that's basically what the Noah 2 does. That's what the Noah 2 is real booting terrible things.
悪いことを願ったから、ディソードがコズピーの力になってくれるのら、ディソードがコズピーを守ってくれるのら。
Yeah, that's good.
だからね、もう普通なんていらないの。
Are you sure? Have you really given up trying to live a normal life? Are you sure that's what you want? That you won't regret it?
めんどくさいのは嫌なの。
I get that.
世界には悪い人ばっかりだし。
That's too pessimistic. Calm down. There's still decent people out there. What about Senna? Do you think she's a bad person too?
セナさんはお友達です。悪い人じゃないよ。
The voice of Kozupi's heart sounded incredibly happy.
あとね、たくみさんもだよ。
Aww.
ブチブチ友達なのら。
If we all could think like Kozupii does, would life probably be a whole lot easier? Or is the reason Kozupii thinks this way because she was broken at some point in the past? I'd say yes on both counts, but be careful. The way she thinks, we can't forget the things you were saying right before, where she said the world's full of baddies, cockroaches, and that they all should die. But her friends, they're fine. So you can't just isolate the kind thoughts that she's having towards you from the fact that it seems like her wish would be that 90% of the world should be snapped, like just out of existence. That's not really something I can answer. While I might complain all the time about the world around me, inside my head, that is, at the end of the day, all I want is for someone to help me. That's all I ask. While I may have thought we were similar, I guess Kozupii and I really are different.
一緒なのら。
For some reason, I didn't understand. Kozupii seemed very convinced of that. Then she vigorously stood up.
ほいじゃ、帰りましょう。
That was actually, like, I don't know why, but that line delivery is really cute. Like, just really cute. I have to wait for the next one. As soon as that left her mouth, Kozupii raced down the stairs. Like, right here. Like, it just hits such a high pitch there. It feels unreal. And then in a display that was very in character of her, she slipped and fell on the very last step. Then inside the raft the inside of the raft was packed as ever. With a slight limp, Kozupii made her way through the building. There were tears in her eyes. Are you okay?
転ぶのは慣れてるよ。
Falling rover. Kozupii flashed a brave smile. But the smile quickly faded. Kozupii stopped dead in her tracks and her gaze shot straight behind me. It's the car again. When I glanced over my shoulder to see what she was looking at, I saw a bunch of mirrors for sale. Everything from hand mirrors to full-on dressers were on display. With a stiff expression, Kozupii looked away from the mirrors and started to quickly walk away.
たくみさん、また明日ね。
Oh wow, that was abrupt. The voice of her heart held not even a trace of the energy from before. Aww. I ran after Kozupii, but it had taken too long to do so, and now I couldn't see her anywhere. I hadn't said anything to her about wanting to leave together, but she was the only person I had left. Losing her started to make me freak out. I could feel the anxiety slowly welling up. Being all by myself, especially in a center of Shibuya, I really, really didn't like it. The mere sight of a human stampede moving along caused sweat to bead all over me. So, knowing I couldn't take it, and give up on trying to find Kozupii, I decided to hurry back to my base. What was that? I'd heard something, the loud clicking sound of a camera shutter. I shifted my gaze toward the sound, but I couldn't see anyone with a camera. That was when I realized. The sound hadn't been an actual camera, but a cell phone. That explained why the sound had been so clear. And yet, despite that realization, I still couldn't locate anyone that was pointing a cell phone at me. Was I just too on edge? No, that couldn't be it. My social suicide would have been incredibly well known throughout Japan, especially considering how many people freaked out over espers. So it wouldn't have been all that strange if there were people who found it amusing to snap random photos of me. The streets were overflowing with people. Well, at least none of them were looking at me. Don't look at me. Biting my lip, I continued dragging myself forward, hung my head as low as possible so as not to be recognized. There it was again. Someone had taken a photo of me again. This time I knew for a fact I had felt a gaze on me. And it wasn't the usual God's gaze, but a gaze harboring nothing but pure malice. Who is it? I looked around, and yet after all that, there's still no one there. Who the hell are you? Sneaking photos like a gosh darn peeping Tom. I'll sue the fetch out of you for violating my rights to my likeness. Doesn't work like that. But it wasn't like they were ever going to hear me cursing them out inside my head, and I very much didn't have the courage to say it out loud. Even if I did, I'd only be bringing more attention to me. I went back to walking, this time doubled my speed, weaving as best I could between the herds of pedestrians clogging the road. Oh gosh, the sounds only got worse. The shutters continued to chase me, then I thought I heard someone giggle. I looked around again. There were a number of people holding their cell phones at the eye level, middle-aged businesswomen, a woman in a suit, a high school boy, some DQN girl, a pretty varied selection. As I moved, they would move their phones in intent to follow me. Don't look at me. Don't take pictures of me. I couldn't take it anymore, so I took off running in another direction, but it didn't matter how long I ran, it didn't matter how far I ran, it didn't matter how many people I threaded the needle through. The sound always found me, the gaze always caught up to me. Every time I thought I'd got away from the noise, it always started up again. In my head, it was like my enemies were multiplying without end. Eventually, I ran into a red light, forcing me to stop. Planting my hands on my knees, I tried my best to catch my breath, all while the noise of the shutters persisted. My gaze trained downward, I clenched my fists and tried to stomach the humiliation, which is all I could really do at this point. Suddenly, a thought occurred to me. Was this noise really being produced by such a large unknown number of people? Wouldn't they all be taking way too many photos? Sure, it was basically a celebrity now, but it wasn't famous, I was infamous. Photos of me wouldn't be worth jack crap. I'd say most people consider me to be a walking piece of trash at this point, so I just couldn't get over how strange it was that the world had picked today of all days to start taking photos of me. And they weren't even hiding it either. Was it Shogun? Was he orchestrating this attack on me right now? Leave me alone already. What the hell have I ever done to you? What the fetch is your problem? I want to kill him. After breaking me completely while he watched from the shadows, he was finally going to kill me once and for all. The malicious harassment wouldn't be enough. I'd be the next NewGen case, murdered in some horrible, grotesque fashion. Therefore, I have to kill him before he kills me. I grabbed my head with both hands. I had a pounding headache. And yet, despite it all, I still didn't feel God's gaze, despite the countless photos being taken via cell phone. Shogun's typical gaze wasn't following me at all. I want to kill him. Suddenly, everything went quiet. The rapid snapping of camera shutters completely disappeared. Surprised, I started to look up. Oh my gosh, only to hear a sound I'd heard many times before right behind me. Within the silence came a quiet, creaking noise I would never have heard otherwise. I sensed a presence. Someone in a wheelchair was right behind me. But who? I laughed at my own wishful thinking. Their identity was obvious. It was him, Shogun. Ignoring the red light entirely, I leapt into the crosswalk. My ears were assailed by a chorus of horns, and one vehicle was on the brink of running me over just barely managing to screech to a halt. But I couldn't look back now. I had to keep running as hard as I possibly could. Jeez, that feels like a murder attempt by those people. Gosh darn it, what are they called? They made the Noah 2. Norase? Okay. Now we made it back to base. I think this is a decent place to stop. That was a lot. Very cool. Very fun. Kozupii is really interesting, isn't she? She's like bat crap crazy, but she's also so sweet. She's such a strong, like, polar, like, individual. It's very interesting to see how they're trying to marry these two extremes into a single person. And I'm very fascinated to see where it's going to go from here with her story. I want to know more about those mirrors, why they freak her out so much. And I wonder if the mirrors and the car that's chasing her with a mirror and these camera shutter things are part of the same system. The system is meant to try and drive people insane. Maybe it's trying to push these gigalomaniacs to manifest or real boot their negative emotions and to see what happens. That could be an interesting thing to explore. But we'll have to get to that all next week. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. I've really enjoyed myself. This is very fun. And I'm very curious to see where this is going to go from here. There's just so much, and there's so many directions it could head. I really not too... I guess I really don't have any guesses at this point. The endings have all been kind of wild and tough to predict, but most so for this, I don't know where this is going. It does seem like Kozupii and Taku could have a lot of fun just like hanging out at the base together, just chilling, but I don't know. I also feel like they have to confront these issues. They just can't ignore them. It'll be interesting. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to the patrons and members who support the channel directly. Hope you're doing great. I really appreciate your support. I'm trying to think of fun stuff to do in the future. It sucks I got so sick last time it kind of interrupted all the things I wanted to do, and I'm trying to think of a game plan for something else to do, probably towards the end of the year, to celebrate, because I started the channel in December, so we're getting pretty close to the anniversary. And then at the same time, it's also a time of year where I tend to I'll have time off. I could do more. So I'll try and think of some projects to work on. Probably one of the biggest ones I need to do is I need to make more progress in the Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough. I have been unable to do much with it in the past few weeks, so it'd be nice to get back into that and kind of push that along towards like an ending of some kind. Ideally, I was hoping to be able to start making 5 videos a week, but with my work schedule and how tough it is to keep up with the 4 videos a week, I don't think that's going to happen even when the Baldur's Gate stuff ends. I have to have some change in my life where maybe I can shuffle around other things and have time to do things. But as it is, working full time just eats up so much of my day, and then I have to also take care of myself, and that just eats up even more time. So, well, it is what it is. I still want to make the content no matter what, so I'll be here. And until the next video, watch me and see me in next. I'll see you there.